All right. I think I'm live. Let me turn down this music in my headphones real quick if I remember how to do it. Okay. Awesome. I don't know if there's anybody here at the moment because I don't know what I'm looking at. I have a newfound respect for people doing live streams because there are a million windows open right now. Okay, cool. Lightspeed laser engraving first. What's up? You are first. There is so many windows open right now. Okay, let me get a handle on this. Chat most important. There we go. Okay. Welcome. If looks like there are a couple people watching. So welcome. Thanks for coming to my first live stream. This is more of a dry run. I didn't advertise this or anything. So I just wanted to try it out, make sure everything works before I do anything serious. But outside of that, I want to just talk about my 2024 plans with the channel. And if anybody has any questions or just wants to chat, watch YouTube videos, check out lasers on a website somewhere, I'm good with that too. But yeah, I had some stuff planned just in case there was nobody here watching. All right. So I haven't posted probably in about a month, I think. So I just wanted to show my face. Still alive. I hope everyone had a good New Year and a good holiday season, especially if you engaged in the festivities. That is laser engraving and laser cutting through the holidays. It can be a real crazy time. I know I was running all the way up until basically Christmas Eve. I had my regular work running on my boss over here. Then I have the other shoulder, the S1 X-Tool S1 back there. I was running a bunch of cutting boards for family members and stuff. So yeah, I was going hard as well. But it's a new year, so new challenges, as they say. Millhouse River Studio, thank you, appreciate it. Okay, so let's just I'll pick up where I left off. So I posted my last video about a month ago, and then right after that, I was on the Laser Everything podcast. So let me change here. And yeah, so I was a guest on the Laser Everything podcast, which was awesome because I've been watching those guys since before I even started this channel. So I was really grateful that they invited me on. And yeah, it was a good time. It was my first time being interviewed like that, and it was a little bit confusing. There's a lot of faces on the screen and a lot going on in the chat, and I was trying to pay attention to everything, but went well. I didn't say anything too stupid, I don't think. And if you haven't checked that out, you can find it on the Laser Everything live section on their YouTube channel here. I go pretty in depth on how I got started with my regular laser business because this isn't my regular business. I have a full-time laser business outside of this. How I got started and kind of the stuff that I do and my philosophy around running a laser business and all kind of stuff like that. So that was last month. And currently, I'm working on a video for the X-Tool screen printer. You can actually see it behind me right there. I know there's a bunch of videos about this already. At first, when they reached out, I wasn't that interested in trying it out, but I sat with it for a minute, and I thought, you know what, I have an interesting take on this product, and outside of just like how it works and all that stuff, I'm going to wrap this into a more overarching laser business lesson. It's a philosophy, kind of, I guess, like a theory that I apply to basically everything that I do in my business, and how using that screen printer can kind of weave into that. So even if you're not interested in the screen printer itself, I think I have kind of like a nice little business lesson that I think people could take away something from. And that is what I'm currently working on. So that will probably be my next video. That is the last kind of contractual review video that I have on the docket. So I'm pretty free as far as reviews go after that. All right, let me bring back my channel here. Chat, make sure everything's going well. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so now I'll go through my what's in store for 2024. Outside of just the regular, well, first I'll say this. I've only had this channel for going on a year. I think it's been 11 months since I posted my first video, and I really didn't expect it to jump off like this. So I'm extremely grateful for everyone that's tuned in, watched the videos, commented, interacted, sent me emails, all that stuff. It really means a lot to me, and I'm super grateful for how quickly this took off. So I'm going to spend a lot more time on this channel, more so than I did last year. And I'm going to add a couple new types of content to what the kind of the regular schedule programming that I have. And the first thing I want to do is add live streams just like this. I'm not sure how often, but I do want to add them because it allows a level of interaction that regular videos don't. Regular video, I post it. I could see comments, reply to comments. I get emails all the time about the videos. And that's fun, but I like the live stream format. I can chat, see what people are working on, just hang out, interact. It's a much more free-flowing and relaxed environment. So I want to do more live streams just like this. This is the first one. Again, I'm going to shoot for once a month to start. If people want to do them more, I'll do them more. No problem. Enjoy it. A&E, thank you. Appreciate it very much. The next type of content I want to add, I want to start doing some, everyone calls them podcasts. I'm not exactly sure it's a podcast, but I just want to interview some other people that are in the laser business. People from all different sizes, side business to full-time, people who are doing straight service shop work, doing customizations and whatever customers bring to them, versus people doing niche, more product, 1 or 2, 3 product focused niche shops like I have for my main business. That's what I do. And just see what, I have a lot of questions. I've been doing this for a long time. So I have a lot of questions that I think I could pull out some good information revolving how other people are doing it. And I love that type of content. That's the stuff I like to watch the most because I always learn something, even from, somebody I think is doing something completely different than me. I just hear someone put terminology or a different theory or a practice a certain way, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. I can learn something from that. So that one's probably going to be a little bit more sparse because that relies on other people's schedules as well. But I do have a couple not lined up, but a couple people that I want to reach out to, especially because I think their businesses are extremely unique, and I think we could all learn a lot from them. So that will also be coming this year. Okay, what else? Oh, next up. This one is going to be a little bit more of a passion project. I think I'm going to put more time in it than I will see on the back end as far as profitability or money. But I've always wanted to do this. And I'm going to be starting basically a t-shirt, a shirt apparel brand for just laser people like us. I haven't seen a whole lot of good merch out there that I liked. And this is something that I've always wanted to do. So I already have a name, and I already have my first shirt graphic. I can bring it up here. So the name of the brand is going to be called Light Crafters Brand. I thought Light Crafter was a pretty cool word. It basically encompasses all that we do. We are crafting things with light, essentially. That's what your laser is. And I had this little design made by one of my favorite designers on Instagram that I work with these guys. I have a little slate of guys that I work with for different branding projects and stuff that I've done with my other company, Make Supply. And I had one of them design this little graphic, just a little CO2 laser head and a lab rat there. This one's called the lab rat because I feel like that's what we all are, spending all hours of the day in our basements and in our garage and our workshops, just tinkering with our lasers. And I love this little design. So this is going to be the first shirt. I'm going to offer it on a print on demand. It's going to be on its own website. And I'm doing print on demand so I can offer more sizes and availability as far as shirts go. If I were to just screen print these and front all the money up front to get all these shirts made, I wouldn't be able to, cover a wide enough gap of people. So it's going to be print on demand. Order the shirt. It'll ship right out to you. I'm not really going to be making any money on it, I don't think. So more of a passion project. Like I said, I'm going to have a whole bunch of different designs of stuff that I think is cool going forward. So that will be coming up very soon. What's next? Let me make sure everything is working. Hello, Las Vegas. 30, was it 30? I need to make the font bigger. 3D HP. Saying I have a great channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Las Vegas. I'm in all the way in New Jersey, so a lot colder here right now. And the Eagles just got smashed. Not a fun day. All right. The next thing on the docket here is I'm going to be accepting one-on-one calls now. This is something that came up. I get a lot of emails about this. I was surprised. But a lot of people wanted to just book time on a call. Where do you turn to for resource info when you get a new laser? About a specific laser? What I do, no matter what laser I'm buying or considering, is, obviously, the manufacturer's website. I try to take in as much information as I can get there. Also, UV laser. I'm actually looking at a UV laser myself. I don't know what kind yet, but I have been shopping around. So I'm actually in the same boat. But basically, whatever I do, whatever I'm considering, outside of the website, I also go to Facebook and I look for Facebook groups revolving around that specific brand, or at least the type of laser that it is. So UV laser, I would look for, like if you're getting a cloud ray, I would look for like cloud ray UV laser user groups or just UV laser user groups and join them and just see what people are talking about. Those are the best sources of information because it's all people in the same place learning and troubleshooting, and usually any problem that you come across, someone has come across it as well and they're figuring it out. So outside of YouTube and Facebook, outside of YouTube and the manufacturer, I would also go to Facebook. Those people also have great recommendations for lasers because they already have them. So, but UV specific, I'm not big on UV lasers yet. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I am eyeing one up. I think the one I was looking at is a cloud ray. I don't know if it's any good, so I'm going to have to do more research myself. They're expensive. My God. But they look cool. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, so I was on the one-on-one calls, right. So I got a lot of emails about just booking one-on-one time, and I would love to speak to everyone one-on-one that wanted to, but I have a very as we all do, we're all busy. My work schedule, my wife's work schedule, the baby. I have a very regimented work day. So I have there's a link in the description below to a calendar link, and you can click through. I have some days open already. I'm gonna be always adding more days, and you can just book a time, a half hour. If you're trouble, if you can't figure out what kind of laser you need to buy for what you're looking to do, if you have questions about the laser business, I've been doing this full time for 8 years. I'm pretty well versed in most things you're going to run into. If you have any e-commerce questions, platforms, Shopify, Etsy, whatever, even before this business, I worked in e-commerce for years before I even got into this for multi-million-dollar e-commerce companies. So I'm pretty well versed on like the internet side of things as far as e-commerce and the laser business, and even pointing you in the right direction as far as what type of laser you might need to do the type of work you want to do. I have scheduling links in my link for my Savvy Cal here. So yeah, if anyone's interested, I will continue to add open dates as I go forward. What brought you to do laser work as a business? I talked about this in the Laser Everything podcast, but basically long story short, I was a leather worker and I was doing a lot of leather work, and I was always looking for a way, different like avenues of business. I wasn't just satisfied with making my wallets and selling them. I was always looking for different ways that I could, increase production or think of a cool different way of doing things. And basically I came across a product that was a laser cut wallet, and I had never seen this before because this was back in 2014. This is kind of before the laser boom on the internet, and there wasn't as much information around. And I was obsessed. I had to figure out like how this guy was doing this. And that led me to signing up at a makerspace, which got me, posting about making my wallets, my laser cut wallets. And then at some point, people started asking me for acrylic patterns for leather. I do a much better job of explaining this in the podcast. But basically, it was kind of like a snowball. I started really small, and then people started asking me for things because they saw that I had a laser. I had access to a laser. I didn't own my own laser. I was renting it. And it was just one-on-one. People were just sending me orders, and then it just snowballed from there. I started my website. I'm very focused on one niche, which is the leathercraft world, but I do a lot of other stuff. I do local coasters and cutting boards and small scale signs and stuff. I used to do more a couple years ago when I had a bigger workshop than I have now, but that is basically how I got into it. It was quite a while ago, almost 10 years probably, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, if you want a better explanation, check out the Laser Everything podcast interview. I do a much better job of explaining it. What did I want to talk about next? Oh, just a new plug the newsletter. I'll be done plugging things after this, I swear. Newsletter. Yeah, you can sign up for my newsletter. It's called the Laser Dispatch. You can find it on my website. There's a link in the video description below. Basically, everything I post here is content updates and stuff that doesn't make it into full videos. There's a lot of things that I think about, kind of stream of consciousness, or really cool things that I come across on Instagram or YouTube or even TikTok of a laser business that's just killing it. Maybe they're doing really well in social, or they have a really cool angle on, how they're selling things. And I like to just pass that information on. Hey, look at the way this company is utilizing making little LED signs out of acrylic for their local community. If anyone's looking to learn, this is a good place to learn, because that's all I do. I just find people who are doing things better than me, and I just try to mimic them and incorporate what they're doing into what I'm doing. How do you sort through all the requests from companies that want you to test? Yeah, that is a really big thing. The thing is, I don't really. Unfortunately, a lot of them I just don't reply. I feel bad, but most of the stuff I'm not interested in reviewing. Um, I've been doing the X Tool stuff because I think they're probably one of the best in the category of the desktop diode, desktops, CO2 kind of space. So I decided to work with them. I like them. I have not fielded any other requests really, and I don't think I will unless it's a product that I'm very interested in and am comfortable promoting, because every video that I put out about a product, you too, anybody else who's doing this, it's coming back onto you. If the product is bad and we're over here promoting it, then it looks bad on us. So I'm very, very choosy about what I'll accept as far as people, companies sending me stuff. Otherwise, I would just have a workshop full of diode lasers and tiny fiber lasers, and I'm just don't want that. So yeah, I don't reply most of the time. But if there is something that I'm interested in, I will most certainly accept the review, especially if I'm comfortable with promoting it on the channel. I try to only review things that I will use daily. Same. So everything that I've reviewed so far, I mean, I have the P2 right over here, right next to my thumb, and I have the S1 right over there, and I use both of them. I don't use them for my day job, but I use them for prototyping, and if my boss was to ever go down, if my tube was shot or something, which it should be soon, it's 6 years old, I could run my jobs on the P2 and it would be pretty close to the same. So yeah, I'll only review things that I'll actually use. And there's plenty of channels out there that are review based and do a great job, so they can have that for the most part. I'm more interested in the business stuff mostly. Yeah. Okay. So back to the newsletter. A newsletter is a newsletter. We all know what it is. Sometimes I don't send a lot of emails, but if I have any big content updates or any ideas, business ideas that I don't want to make and put into a full video, I will send them to my newsletter. So if you'd like to receive some of that, you can subscribe on my website, and you can unsubscribe anytime if you're tired of hearing from me. X-Tool is my go-to product. Started with the 10 watt with the IR add-on, then the M1, now the F1. That's a great setup. I still haven't gotten the F1. They offered to send it to me, but I just didn't think I would be able to. I didn't have a good idea for a video, so I told them to hold off for now. But yeah, I have the 20 watt D1 Pro. I have the IR module. I did a video on those. I don't have the M1, and I don't have the F1 yet. But yeah, I've been happy with the X-Tool stuff. I've used so many of these diode lasers that I can just tell pulling it out of the box how annoying it's going to be to assemble and use just by literally the way it looks in the box. And I'm glad that X-Tool actually puts some effort into the user experience, from unboxing. The instructions, mostly good. I still watch the videos, but yeah, like the way they label things, I'm appreciative of someone, of the company, like for the lower end, that puts in that type of effort. How long did it take for people to request to review their products? And what was my first official sponsor? I don't think it took that long. So my first videos were in. See, the thing with getting the sponsorships, you don't need a lot of followers really. So probably within the first 3 months. I know it was before summer. So my first video was in February, I believe. February, March is where it started picking up, and definitely in the spring, before summer, the company started reaching out. Yeah, so there was definitely more that reached out before X-Tool, and I just didn't. Some of them I started talking to them just to see what they wanted to do and stuff. It's a lot of work. I'll say that it's not very easy to do the review videos, especially if you do them well. There's a lot of kind of half-assed ones. You can tell you can tell when you watch one of the videos that whether someone knows about lasers or not when when they're doing the video. But yeah, it's a lot of work. But if you can make it work, it's definitely worth the time. The thing, got my first 60-watt fiber from Hoation. I don't know how you say that actually. Hoatan. Lots to learn. So different. Yeah. So I have a 60-watt JPT fiber back in the corner there. That is from Richard Zhang from OMG Laser. I set it up and I haven't used it since. Basically, I set it up. I burnt a hole in the lens cap the first time. I ran a couple projects on it. I ran a job on it, actually. And then after that, it's just kind of sat there. It requires a completely different mode of skill set to just use that every day, especially, but it also doesn't work for my main products. I'm mostly 99% cutting acrylic, and the fiber laser just doesn't do that. It's not made for that. So I need to really just pick a time to get that thing back out and start working on it. What is the number one thing keeping diode lasers from going more mainstream like 3D printers have in terms of ease of use and setup like the last year or two? Are 3D printers more popular than lasers? I'm not too familiar with the 3D printing world. I've never used one, and it looks extremely hard to me. I've opened the software like Blender and all the different 3D. As soon as I open it, I have to close it. I just can't stand to look at it. It's too confusing. I would be interested to see. I would be really interested to see like the number differential between 3D printing and lasers, even diode lasers. I feel like a lot of people have diode lasers, but I guess a lot of people have 3D printers too. Yeah, I can't comment on the use of setup because I've never used a 3D printer, but maybe because quite a bit more popular, huh? Quite a bit more. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check out some of the bigger YouTube channels with 3D. I think maybe it's because you don't really have to worry about. I don't think there's like a fire risk. You don't have to worry about. I mean, you do have to worry about exhaust to a degree, but not like you do with the laser world. You got to set up your diode. You better have a good exhaust system, or you're going to be sucking down fumes all night. Let me. Cool. They are easy. Okay. If you like the movie Aliens, I just printed a 7-foot xenomorph. That's awesome. 3D printing? Do those things get any faster? I feel like every 3D printing job I see, it's like you start it and you got to come back 8 hours later or maybe like the next day and hopefully it's done. Cool. All right, so I'm definitely done with all my plugs. New Bamboo Labs. All right, I'm going to check them out. I did want to get one at some point. I had a couple ideas for some 3D printed stuff. But every time, I mean, everyone was always like, get an Ender, I believe. But every time I get too busy with all this laser stuff that the thought of adding another machine that I have to learn just fries my brain. Combining 3D and laser, it's a great idea. So as far as mentioned lasering leather, I've been told that leather can be toxic, and how do you know what leather is safe? So the easiest way is to just use vegetable tan leather. That you are for sure in the clear. And that's mostly what I use when I'm doing laser engraving my leather, I do pretty much all vegetable tan leather. Um, Most leather, 95 to 98% of leather that you encounter is chrome tan leather. And the point of contention is the chromium salts in the leather. Does the fumes from laser cutting that affect you, or is it toxic? And I think from what I've read, it used to be. They used a different chromium compound to make leather, or some of the like more discount people who just don't care will still use that. But for the most part, companies have moved on to tanneries have moved on to a different tanning compound that isn't. I can't verify either way. I really don't know, and I don't want anyone to get mad at me if they're sucking down fumes. But to just stay safe, do vegetable tan leather and avoid PU leather or vegan leather, because that's just PVC plastic, and PVC plastic should not be laser cut. There is laser safe leatherette. So if you're going to be getting fake leather, make sure it's laser safe leatherette. Where do I get my leather? A bunch of different places. My main places are buckleguy.com and Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. They're a really good selection on both of them. They look really nice. So if you're looking for really good leather to sell as end products, stuff that people will be really impressed with, Rocky Mountain Leather Supply and buckleguy.com. All kind of stuff. U.S. tanneries, Japan, Italy, France, all the good stuff. If you just want some stuff to play around with, you can probably find some cheaper on Springfield Leather Company. But even if you were to go to the nicer places like Buckle Guy or Rocky Mountain Leather and just look for kind of discount, there's different grades to different hides, kind of like wood. So if you just get like a B or a C level hide, yeah, there'll be some scarring and some marks, but you'll still learn without spending a whole lot of money. What are your thoughts on the X-Tool S1 versus the We Create if you were to pick one or the other today? So I have the S1 and I've used it a lot. I have not used the We Create, but they have offered to send it to me. So I can't really comment on the use. I love the S1. I don't know what I have to look up the We Create. Maybe I'll bring it up here. 1299, 20 watt. Okay. So for one, what is the size on that thing? It looks pretty small. I mean, the auto lifting's pretty cool, but I wouldn't consider that a deal breaker for me. Where are your specs? Where are your specs? Specs, here we go. Dimensions. Okay. What is the actual usable space, though? So, yeah, so I have not used this thing yet. It looks pretty cool, I guess. I want some more video. Where's the video? Here we go. So right off the bat, this is a 20 watt, where the S1, I have the 40 watt. I also am going to get the IR module for that. That's the one thing I like about the S1 is you can swap in heads. So 20 watt, 40 watt, or the IR. I wonder if they're going to make more. But let's see, 600 millimeters seconds, pretty fast. So this has a camera. The S1 does not.
Introducing.
Oh my God, that was loud. Okay, I'm not going to play that as blew my eardrums out. See, yeah, so I'm not going to spend too much time just because I haven't used it. But one thing I could say, I don't like the top loading like this. I like to be able to see, because the S1 has that kind of like a front screen where you can see what's going on, because I like to sit over here and I kind of just glance over my shoulder. And so I don't have to stand up and look over the top. But yeah, I haven't used this, so I can't give a fair comparison. I love the S1 though. If you're used to the camera, you might have a problem because the S1 doesn't have a camera. But I'm not really good with the camera because I came from the non-camera world, so it's no problem for me. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to get one. They've been asking to send this to me, and I haven't accepted it, but maybe I'll accept it. It's a good price. Expanding my diode collection. Just ordered the We Create Vision fully enclosed 20 watt. Nice. Frame mounted rotary. That's interesting. On the X-Tool S1 2 watt. So do you mean the IR module? I would do one. I did a video on the same module, but for the D1 Pro. It's the same 2 watt IR module, just a different setup, obviously. It's a pretty cool little thing if you're going to be doing metal. Yeah. I mean, if they'll send it to me, I'll make a video on that. Favorite current Diode Lasers, the Rolly MK2. It seems like a lot of people like that. Every time I go to their website, it's either not back ordered, but it's kind of like an order in advance thing. Did they ever get them more back in stock? Thanks for the great information and being honest. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to be honest. I don't want to just, sell something or a product or an idea that I don't think works, because that doesn't help anybody. And it makes me look bad. I don't want to do that. Yeah, so I don't really have too much left. I have a hard out at 9:30 here. So let me just, oh yeah. So the last thing I wanted to talk about here. Next Level Laser Conference. I came across this in my Facebook feed. Is anybody going to go to this? Does anybody, I mean, even if you're not here now, if you are watching this later, if you want to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me see. Yeah, I have the IR, but I've not come across any examples. Oh yeah, for the S1, I haven't either. I wonder if, it might be too new, or maybe people haven't been using it. There's a couple on the D1 Pro for sure. I have one, but yeah, I don't think I've seen one on the IR or the S1 yet. The reason I ordered the F1 because the IR in it, and it's light and portable, perfect for crowd. Yeah, that is a great reason to have the F1. And it's also another reason I might accept it, because it won't take up too much more table space here. I wonder when X-Tool is going to do their real deal fiber laser. I'm sure they're going to have to make one pretty soon. Oh, yeah. So this Next Level Laser Conference in Tulsa from June 28th to June 30th. If anyone's going to this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy tickets and fly out there to see what's going on with this laser conference. I wanted to go to the Lightburn conference, but it was on my daughter's first birthday and the whole family got COVID. So that was a double smash of not going. But hopefully I'll be good for this. So yeah, I'm probably going to buy tickets to this. And if anyone's going, can hang out, drink some beers, experience Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've never been. East Coast boy. I've never been to the Midwest before. Yeah, they're on the screen. Yeah, I have the screen printer right behind me. I'm going to do a video on that next. I mentioned earlier in the stream that I'm going to have a slightly different take on the screen printer. I know a lot of the videos out there are just like, hey, this is how it works. And I think we all kind of understand that. I'm going to use it, but I have a different take on what I think the best use of it is actually is. But it's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of screen printing, so I decided to take it. I've always wanted a screen printing setup, but it's just too much stuff. I don't have space for that here. I don't have a sink either. All right. So I got a couple more minutes here. Thanks for everybody for stopping in. I didn't think anybody was actually going to show up for the first live stream. Just wanted to get this one out of the way, see how it went, make sure the mics are working, the cameras are working, all the plugins are working. I got to figure out a way to get the comments to pop up on the screen. I like when people do that. It's very professional. All right. Well, again, thanks everybody for stopping in, and I appreciate it. New videos will be coming out soon. More content for sure. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, have a good New Year. Have a good week. It's Sunday, right? Yes. Have a good upcoming week. See you guys later.